one thing we can say. Sean committed. On this episode, we commit Sean. All right. All right. All right. 5, 4, 3. What up, everybody? It's John Brown, the one and only Bandana Gamer. Inside joke there that you have no idea why I just did blah. But hey, it made Sean laugh, and that's what matters. Welcome back to another episode of Contravania, where we are smashing together the things we love to talk about them and just talk about video games and sometimes the world and life in general. As always, I am joined by my right hand, the man with the plan, the guy who cheers for the Patriots even though Tom Brady's gone. That is Sean 8-Bit Glitch 79. How you doing, buddy Roo?
Doing good. Not bad. Hanging in there. Surviving. That's what we can do.
Nice. You went to Salem recently.
Yes, I did. Yes. It was
Are you
fun.
Cursed?
I think so. I have to say, I feel a bit cursed.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. I've known you for a while. I think that happened before the Salem trip. Okay.
That could be.
It seems like it has been extended much longer than this past weekend. No, but so like you hit up Salem. Sold your soul to Satan.
Yep.
And what else? You hit up a really cool barcade, right?
Yeah, they had a cool place up there called Bit Bar, and it's they had some pretty decent selection of arcade games and some pinball machines. I was a bit disappointed because they had a Play Choice 10 with Contra on it. And I tried to go for a no death run, made it to the second base, 4th level, and the thing froze on me. So I was a bit pissed at that point because I was holding the NDR up to that point. So, oh well. It just wasn't meant to be because that's my second attempt at a Play Choice playing Contra, and something's gone wrong. Either the screen's really bad and not bright, and so it's hard to see. That was the first time, and then this time it froze. So I guess it's just not meant to be for me.
All I hear is excuses.
Yeah, I know.
I think our first discussion of this podcast tonight is, what is it with you and failure? No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm in a mood tonight, people. We're just gonna roll with it. You might see honest Bandana Gamer. He might be a little rough around the edges, but you'll get a good show. I'm sorry that the machine glitched out on you. Maybe it was just recognizing your brand.
Probably.
Maybe it thought it was doing you a favor.
Yeah.
I also just want to go on the record for saying I'm proud I didn't make like a joke about you getting stopped at second base. You know, I feel like it was there, but I'm showing maturity right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Sean couldn't get past second base in Salem.
Story of my life.
Says the guy with 2 kids.
Yeah.
This is where Sean goes, what do you mean?
Yeah.
All right, but moving on. Let's head up to Jersey Town, where everything's just perpetually cursed. Except the American Dream Mall, which is beautiful and has an amazing theme park in it that I hope to go to. But, Ratboy Collectibles, how you doing, Debbie?
Oh, dude, just exhausted from starting my new job. My word.
So you want to talk about your new job? You want to get some stuff off your chest?
Well, I drive a delivery van for Amazon now, so it's
cool.
more exhausting than I thought it would be, and I definitely understand why these people just kind of toss things and run.
Nice. Devin, like day one.
It was you.
Devin, day one. I'm going to deliver this with quality and class. Hello, sir. Here's your package. Halfway through day one.
No.
F you! Here's your crap!
Pretty much.
Read between the lines, Bezos!
I remember hundreds of people's names in frickin' North Bergen, New Jersey now, thanks to delivering so much. I'm like, oh my god. And like, I know that person's gonna get a gigantic box of crap, and sure enough, they do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Well, good to hear you have a new job. Good that new things, and just see how to go with it. Anything else going on in the wild world of Devon?
Just my daughter finally started walking kind of by herself. She's a little scared, but she's getting it.
Wow, that's cool. And she's what, 18 now? No.
I wish. No. She's a cute little 1-year-old.
Well, see, I'm sitting here going, kind of by herself. Oh, so she's not really walking.
Well, dude, she is. She's got to hold my hand sometimes.
This is what the generation being raised by millennials will see. Like, oh, I kind of walked, and by kind of walked, my parents walked me around the room and told me I was a good girl.
And I got a trophy for it.
I got a participation. You gave your child a participation trophy of walking.
Sort of walking on her own.
Sort of. All right. Let's see. Let me open myself up to be vulnerable. So, because that way, making it all fair. Everything's going fairly good around here. Work is work. I'm off of family leave. Don't know if I said this. We have taken on a third foster child, which that was dumb. No, no, it's actually no, it's actually been great. She is a wonderful. My wife and I have been fostering 2 amazing young boys for the past year, and the opportunity to have their middle sister come live with us opened up, and we took it, but it is freaking exhausting. Oh my god, 3, dude. They outnumber us. Now, it wasn't really a democracy to start off with, but like they are more capable of a coup than they ever were before. And I think they're aware. Like, they kind of use it as a bargaining chip. Like, so much soccer practice and taekwondo. Now, of course, I'm not like you, Sean. I haven't brought livestock into the equation. But I live in DC. There's not like, I could probably find like a massive raccoon for her to try and ride. Actually, no. Here's an interesting little fact about DC that I shared with Devin the other night. There are deer everywhere. Like, I have been driving down the main drags in DC, and there's a deer. Out at my house, which I'm on a river, there's I see 12 deer. Like, it used to be beautiful and misfind. I'm like, oh, now it's like, there are those again. It's like, I lived in rural Georgia for several years. I saw 2 deer. I moved to urban ass DC, and freaking Bambi's everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a random surprise. I don't know why I'm so angry about it. That's just gonna be the vibe for the night. But we're getting into good things. So let's get into some video game news. I'm gonna in my head flip a coin. Devin, heads or tails? All right, I'm going with what Devin wants. So Silent Hill, which has been long dormant for all of Devin's child's life, most of Sean's children's life. Let's see, 2012 was the last.
It was a year or 2 after PT was released on the PS4. So
yeah, we don't. Yeah, PT was just a glorified fancy demo for a game that never existed, so we're not going to count PT.
So good.
Yeah, but it's not a thing, so just let it go.
I will not. It's still on my PS4 for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. Konami came out with a fairly decent set of announcements. It does not seem like anything's near the future, or in the near future. Was that your take on it? That this all felt still fairly far out? Maybe. I
mean, far-ish. I mean, Silent Hill 2 Remake seems like it's going to be the closest, and I think the closest thing.
Yeah, that seems like a 2023 release.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did say that it was going to be 2023. I just don't know if they said specific.
I don't remember any dates, but I could be wrong. If someone just, Devin looks like he started Googling it, and but I'm going to work from the least video game. I mean, the least video game announcement was that Silent Hill 3, the movie, or the third Silent Hill movie, Return to Silent Hill, is coming to light of the day, and it's going to be the director of the first one, which is actually a fairly well-revered video game movie. How you feeling about that one? Are you excited? Are you going to go see it? Will you eat popcorn? And
definitely. I loved the first one. The second was, I mean, I like it because I like the lore of Silent Hill, because I don't know, I just didn't mind it, but it was kind of compared to the first.
Great.
But I'm definitely excited for that person.
Sean, what's your feelings on the first Silent Hill movie?
I like the first one. To be honest, I never really found it interested to watch the second one, so I think I need to kind of see it. I think I've seen a little bit of it, but it just didn't interest me to really focus on it. So I really need to go back and watch the second one. But I did enjoy the first one. Yeah. I mean, the trailer and of the second one and everything just didn't really.
I mean,
make me want to watch it.
The thing that I find so crazy is just that first one with that shock ending that Sean Bean is alive.
It's been so long since I've seen it. I want to watch it again, especially if this is coming out. Both of them.
Okay, so that joke just went whoosh.
No, I do. I just got what you meant.
So Sean Bean notoriously dies in all his movies. This is actually, of all the movies to survive, he survives this one. But he's not really in the action for this one. He's kind of off to the side. That's but yeah, that seems interesting. Like you said, it's actually up there with video game adaptations. It's the first thing I ever encountered in Silent Hill. That was not a game I ever really sought out, and it was like much later in life that I came and watched that movie. It was grad school, so 2008, 2009.
It definitely opened up for me to know a little bit more about like the deeper lore of the Silent Hill games, which I didn't know at first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've, up until buying that one that I have up there, I've never actually been able to physically play it myself. I've only ever watched my brother play it. Yeah. So,
and if Devin, remind me, when you were really into Silent Hill, who was the first who got Silent Hill before you did?
You.
Okay. No, that's but. Yeah, you were very intentional in collecting all the Silent Hill games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is it that drew you about that series?
I have always loved horror stuff. I've always just liked the motif of the psychological horror of the way they play things out. It's kind of hard to explain. Just the I guess the aesthetic of it, I always liked more than I did like Resident Evil or other things.
Yeah.
And
that's I would say that I enjoyed when I played Silent Hill when it came out, and I played Resident Evil. I enjoyed playing Silent Hill, the first one, than I did Resident Evil, the first one. I enjoyed them both, but I think Silent Hill I enjoyed a lot more, and I think it's because of that, because it's like zombies. It just seems like, I don't know, in a weird way, kind of like a more realistic thing. Like it could happen. Right there. But Silent Hill is a more of a like a ghost kind of a thing, where it's like it's weird and unknown and scary and just I don't know.
That's my whole thing too, because I've always interpreted like Resident Evil is more on the basis of realistic-ish, obviously with like a virus making these things, but that's why I like Silent Hill a little bit more, because it was more on the mysterious of the paranormal side of things and the really that's weird kind of side of things. Yeah, and I've always just liked that more. Especially the first time I played Silent Hill 4: The Room, instantly fell in love with it.
Let's just take a moment to respect a game that does not get enough love. Silent Hill 4, awesome game,
easily my favorite one.
Yeah, that honestly one of the first conversations when I was on the periphery of video game collecting. It was Black Friday, and I walked into a used video game store that sold retro, so not a GameStop or anything. And the cat, if you want to go back in the like time machine, go to like my first or second video I ever made. One of the cats in there is named Dan. And yeah, I just came in. He was discussing stuff with a friend, and he is just like going on and on about how great Silent Hill 4 is, and just on and on to the point like I had to play it. It like the people who like it. It has its critics, but the people who love it love it.
I instantly thought that game was fantastic from when me and my friends would play it. Back on the original Xbox, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And inside the apartment, there was a room that I forget. I think it was the character's bedroom where you could find a phone and look outside of the bedroom to like this billboard.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could dial different numbers into the phone, you could get some creepy ass stuff coming through that phone.
Yeah. Well, I remember he picked up, the big thing for him is he picked up a doll. There's a doll somewhere. He picked it up and put it in his chest.
The rabbit?
I honestly, I don't remember. It was just him telling me, and I never saw the doll. He picked up the doll, put it in like the chest, and like random weird stuff that like we'd only ever seen happen to him. And he like couldn't figure out, and like looked in a manual that like, hey, if this doll ever appears, do not pick it up. It will trigger things and like will just make your life harder. And just like that intention, that kind of a thing in a game is so freaking dope. But that game is old. They're not remaking it. We're not going to talk about that anymore. So I'm going to work down this. So this was the Silent Hill live transmission. They announced 4 games or 3 games. Made the movie.
Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill Ascension, F, and Townfall, so there is 4.
Alright, so let's talk about Ascension. Silent Hill Ascension. I'm saying that right? Okay. I feel
Ascension,
weird.
yes.
This is... Not a lot is known about this. It's a interesting... J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot, is involved. And it's a game like... it's... Someone compared it to like the Twitch channel Let's Play Pokemon, where like people are playing all together at once and controlling one experience.
Yeah, and I think you said something about being like Pokemon Go-ish, but now I'm like,
no, I misunderstood
any of that from the video that they showed.
That was me being dumb and reading Let's Play Pokemon as a different thing, but it's more like Let's Play Pokemon, which is a Twitch channel. Where it just responds to what people put in the chat to control the character and do the things.
Although I see it could be a really cool thing, but I also know the internet and it could fiery hell very quickly. I'm a little disappointed about that.
It's a weird thing. I think it's definitely a weird... I mean, you don't know what to expect from it. You know, what is this that like a J.J. Abrams... Silent Hill.
And the creators of Dead by Daylight too are apparently jumping into it as well.
That's good. That's actually some good news.
Dead by Daylight slaps, so that's definitely true.
But I mean, it's kind of just right now. I mean, once again, this is all stuff that this one seems super far away. Like I would say 2024.
There was some sort of like sign up
Maybe.
Thing for it that I mean obviously I did right away, but it was right on the website pretty much the day of.
And by sign up, Devin just got a weird email that said, Silent Hill, give us your social security number. And he's like, yes!
Sold!
Sweetie, get in here! The hill needs us! Let's go ahead and let's put our kids in there too. I just turned Devin into like a super southern redneck. New Jersey, southern redneck, same thing.
I was from South Dakota, so kind
of
still country.
It is country as hell. Then the one that I find the most intriguing is Silent Hill F. Devin, you want to talk a little bit about that one?
From doing a little research into the Ryokishi 07 or whatever the name creator, whatever the heck it is going to be a visual novel. I usually don't like those type of games. They just generally bore me, but when it comes to this, I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm not sure how that's going to end up, but I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic of it.
It's a Silent Hill spin-off, but it's set in Japan.
Yeah, and it's set in the 60s, but I heard someone saying that it's set sometime within World War II, but that's not the 60s, so I'm confused now.
Yeah.
But either way, but it's set in the Japan in the 60s. That's all I know about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if that the person they listed is known for working on visual novels, but they never call it. They don't call it a visual novel.
They do not.
I think they say visual experience. Once again, it's still a huge unknown. Really cool, pretty looking.
Yeah, that trailer was very, very cool looking, actually. I really like that.
And, Sean, you have any thoughts on a Silent Hill set in Japan?
Well, my daughter will probably want to play it since it's set in Japan. She's all about Japan stuff, so...
all right, scarring a new generation.
Yes. But I'm wondering about... See, I get a lot confused about visual novel games. Because people will call, like, those, like the Man of Medan and that series, The Dark Pictures, as visual, like, novels for some reason. I've heard them be described as that, and I don't see that as visual novel. I see more of, like, those, like, dating sim app kind of games as more of a visual novel, if you will. Yeah. So I don't know what this is going to be like. Is it going to be more like a Man of Medan kind of a thing, or is it going to be more of a like literally you just watching something and just making choices? Yeah. Are you actually going to be able to move around and do things and quick time events and stuff like that?
That's what I was hoping that it was going to be like, but I'm not sure. But this Ryukishi 07 is known to be just a writer, so I don't know if he's just doing the storyline or not. I don't really know.
Well, I mean, that to me, like, I hadn't even thought about that. That lends itself to an Until Dawn kind of game.
Right.
That would be dope.
Right. Yeah.
I'd be down.
See, I'd be down for that. And my wife would be. She loves those kind of games, so she would definitely want to play that if it's like that.
Yeah, and I mean
that's my only concern is like what's the gameplay going to be exactly like? When it comes to visual novels, it's pretty broad, at least in my experience. You know, I've seen games where they say it's a visual novel, and there's actually a lot more. It seems to be involved than what a visual novel, in my opinion, is. So I don't know. But I like the fact that it's in Japan and it's kind of different. I think Silent Hill needs a little bit of a different, I don't know, flavor to it at this point. Kind of a revamping of it.
Well, I mean, I think they just need
a different take.
I was about to say they just need content to come out.
Yeah, exactly.
They just need things. They just.
Hey, we didn't get a pachinko machine at least, right? So there's that. We gotta be happy about that.
I mean, to be fair, we don't know exactly what Silent Hill Ascension is. Okay?
True.
It could just be J.J. Abrams giving you a pachinko machine with a lot of lens flare. You know, I don't know if I won. I can't see anything. This is terrifying. But yeah, I do agree. I think the one thing I'm curious about, and I guess because they did broadcast it to the West, is like, would a Silent Hill Japanese spinoff actually be released in the U.S.?
I don't think they would have promoted that as just in general without being everywhere. Like, I really doubt that.
Yeah.
Look at you being in an abusive relationship with Konami and thinking you can trust again.
No. We all know Konami is freaking weird, but I don't think they would have gone through all that power and saying, "Oh, look, Silent Hill. Oh, wait, you guys don't get that one."
Yeah.
I really doubt that.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a vote really quick.
We all know that they've kind of
vote really quick of all the video game companies. Who do we feel like that move would really be like? How many people could see Konami doing that?
Yeah.
If you are listening to this, I am raising my hand, and the 70 people behind me are raising their hands.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So moving on. The next thing that was announced was Silent Hill Townfall.
Devin, this seems to be the next actual mainline Silent Hill game, I think.
So this is like Silent Hill 7 or whatever we're on, though we don't number it anymore.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So this looks like this will actually be a game. Though it is the announced team, which you've got No Code, I think. Looking at the pulling all, I did such great research before all this.
I can't seem to find
there seems to be right now there's not a lot of news on it. There's a director from the company No Code. This is a much this is not one of the bigger developers. This is much more a team that's been known for their work in the double A space or whatever, not your $40 video game. And once again, there's not a lot out there. There's supposedly more news coming in 2023. We've got a director, a developer. Yep. Yeah. Seems fascinating.
I like the idea. During the transmission, they did say that there was like some sort of hidden thing in the trailer.
Yeah.
And evidently people already figured out what that was. It was something hidden in the sound code of the actual video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something, whatever heart this town had has now stopped. So definitely seems like they are connecting to the older games.
Mm. And you're saying it says Paul is dead?
Possibly.
Okay. If you play it backwards, you get a ripping recipe for lentil soup. I made a Simpsons reference.
Yeah.
And I explained the reference. But yeah, I'm split here. I wish. I mean, the Konami of the past does not exist anymore.
No.
I really wish there was a Team Silent within Konami that had a connection back to the original 4 titles. Because it's just there's something to me that was lost when they transitioned away from their internal team.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice to see Silent Hills, which was going to be an internal Konami game back when they were friends with Kojima. But, it'll be interesting to see what a smaller, pluckier team can do with it. So, what you guys? What do you want out of a new Silent Hill game? A new Silent Hill experience?
What would I want out of a new Silent Hill experience?
Silence. That's what he wants.
Yes. Silent.
Hey, now if we could just add some elevation to this,
yeah.
You could be totally quiet and going upwards. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
No. All right, Devin.
I don't know. I was actually hoping they would remake the first one, not the second one, because I really enjoyed. I guess it's nostalgic talking, nostalgia, but that one really hit home for me. It was like kind of the first real good horror game I played, so I kind of got that connection with it, and it really was the first game that really freaked me out playing it. So I was hoping for that one, and obviously that one really needs the spit polish on it. If you know in comparison, because to be honest, what they showed of the remake of the second one, and I know Retro Rivals did a video where they showed the original PlayStation 2 version and this one kind of next to each other, and I kind of went, I really don't see that much of an improvement, to be honest. And in fact, in some cases, I was like, I think the PlayStation 2 one looks better. I don't know. But that's only what they've showed us so far, is that little bit of it. So
that cinematic did look really, really good in my opinion, though. I'm very excited to see what they do with the rest of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but if you look at Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes compared to the PlayStation 1 versions of them, it's a night and day difference. You know what I mean? And that's what I was hoping for the first Silent Hill. Was just a really nice Resident Evil engine with Silent Hill,
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, let's just go ahead and we'll skip that question of what do you want from a new one, because
But that's kind of what I want for a new one.
yeah, you want you don't want
I want
new.
that first game experience, but today's like graphical like fidelity. You know what I mean?
Basically, back in my day, we had this, and I just want all the old stuff. No.
Old man yelling at clouds. That's what
Simpsons reference. That's just gonna be my new thing. I'm just gonna either call out or make Simpsons reference the whole time.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah. The big reveal, as we've already talked about, the most what seems to be the closest thing to the horizon is a Silent Hill 2 remake from Bloober Team, Bloober Team, which they did Layers of Fear. I think is their big. I mean, they're known as
Layers of Fear and then something else. I can't remember.
I mean,
they got some good horror stuff under their belt.
A great team.
Yeah, have you guys played Layers of Fear?
I have not.
I have not.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh my god, that game is incredible. I love that game so much.
What makes
what they did with that game, it definitely gives me high hopes for what they're gonna put into Silent Hill 2 remake.
We'll talk about that. What's so great about Layers of Fear?
It's definitely the very, very screwed up story to begin with. I really like the way that they wrote that game, and the aesthetic of the way you're going through this house and you're kind of really diving into the mind of the character that you're playing as, and everything about the storytelling in general was just really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up beating the first one, but I did not complete the second one yet.
Okay. Cool. So you are
I'll have to check that one out.
You are the Silent Hill guy. Unpack Silent Hill 2 remake by this team. How you feeling about it? What's your gut saying?
Well, judging on what they've done before, very optimistic on what they can do with this one. The trailer, I thought, looked really, really good. I can see what Sean was saying when it comes to the original on the PS2. I mean, I see it looks a little bit, I guess, brighter. I don't know what else to say really about it. It seems like they put a little more detail into the actual color, but we only saw the trailer. I guess it's the cinematic of like the first thing where he stops the car next to that bathroom gas station or whatever it is, and that's all we see. Yeah. But I'm very, very excited to see what they do with the rest of it. But I also, again, it's been years since I've played 2, so it's pretty much blanked out of my head. Yeah. Besides that first part of the game.
Yeah.
And Sean, what you've already kind of said a little bit about what was your takeaways. Any more do you want to add about the Silent Hill 2?
Well, yeah, like I said previously, it's like I wasn't that impressed when you look at them side by side, the original to that remake, as far as the cinematics. I mean, yeah, it's polished more. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more smoother, let's say, or prettier in a sense, but. I think when I can finally see some like actual gameplay footage, what the actual when you're playing the game, what it's going to look like, I think then I'll have a more of an opinion. But at this point, I'm not really excited about it. I'm glad they're doing it, but I don't have I'm not screaming from the top of the mountain yet about it until I see more of like the gameplay. If it looks more like the Resident Evil remakes, the 2 and 3, like I mentioned, then I think that would be great. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't, but. Of course, we haven't really seen it yet, so that's just all. I mean, I want the first one we made.
Yeah,
that and Dino Crisis.
I really think that if this one goes well when it comes to sales, I mean, we've seen it happen with other companies that go like, well, that sold really well, so maybe we should make the other ones, and I hope they eventually will.
Yeah,
it would
be weird going from 2 to 1 to 3 to 4, but
I mean,
but I have a feeling they might.
To be fair, Konami.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I was about to say though, you thinking this making any money will make Konami make smart decisions. I
am trying to stay optimistic. I came out of nowhere and said, "Here you what you wanted."
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, and I want to set this up. There, during the Tokyo Game Show, Konami had a Konami Direct.
Yeah.
And our good friend Devin got up early, had his Silent Hill t-shirt on, and watched the whole thing. And
Unfortunately, yes.
I first had a mistake, like, because they did a Suikoden release thing, which I was personally excited about, because I think that's their franchise that they've beaten worse than Silent Hill. So they have a huge Suikoden announcement, and like Suikoden, and I was like, oh god, all Konami did was talk about Suikoden. Poor Devin. And so I reach out and I'm like, oh wait, the actual Konami thing hasn't happened. Never mind, Devin, don't worry about that. And then I'm like I have this on as I'm driving, and I'm like, this is a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
This is a lot of stuff that I don't I mean, it was very clear, like, it was a Tokyo Game Show. Konami reminding, like, Konami is hyper focused in Japan. Like, they're like, Japan is their bread and butter. If they have something they can ship over, great, but really they want to make their bread and butter in Japan.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Then that gets over, and I'm like, oh wait, I go back to my original sentiment. Devin, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, and then they finally announced this. So my feelings with Silent Hill 2. Oh, and that was also going to say, I just always feel like I'm kicking puppies where Devin's concerned. Devin's excited and happy about something. And I'm like, that's stupid. Why are you happy? They're just gonna hurt you. So Devin, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible friend. You should really stop talking to me. No. Or no, I just always feel like I have a realistic Devin's like, hey, I think Nintendo's about to do this great thing. And I'm like, I don't think so. But no, my feelings on Silent Hill 2. I'm very with Sean. I think it's cool. It's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I do have my PS5 for exclusives. On one hand, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm a little disappointed that Blooper Team isn't getting to do an original thing. I would much rather them be the team doing the new game, doing the next entry versus a remake. But maybe they will put their own spin on Silent Hill 2. And then and then the other side, like, once again, Konami, they had one of, if not the best, retro collection ever released this year. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park. With the Cowabunga collection, and I forget what team did that.
That and the Castlevania collection. That Castlevania collection.
Well, I mean, the Castlevania collections have been great. The Advanced collection and the Anniversary.
Well, I only played the Anniversary.
Yeah, Anniversary's great. And then the Contra collection's been pretty good. I mean, they've done a great collection, and they've gotten better each time, it feels like. And Cowabunga collection is one of the most impressive retro collections I have ever come across.
I was amazed when I first popped that in. Mm-hmm. Like, holy crap, that's got a lot of games in it.
The plethora of material that's there, and I'm just like, oh man, this is Konami. This like, if they're going to do this, like, I wish they were being more innovative in the new game space, but this is fine. And I'm like, we get the Silent Hill transmission. I'm like, all right, here it comes. We're going to get a really cool collection with some up-resing and some porting, and I don't know.
The way that they worded it, I don't know if they were just talking about the stuff that was going to be preceding of the first announcement in that video. They made it sound like that might not be it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's my own expectation. I don't feel like Konami said, like, hey, we're going to release an Anniversary collection. So I just, I felt that was the trajectory Konami's been going in.
Yeah, no,
and
you're not wrong.
One with it like an up-resed and retextured 1, 2, 3, and 4, the original Silent Team games. I would have just been goo goo gaga over, especially if they put in some like history material and just different like interesting filler notes that I really wish that had been there. I think that was and that kind of to me spun the rest of the announcements where it just felt like this is cool. I am glad they are doing this. I'm not getting the thing I really wanted. And I'm going to pout because I'm used to everyone catering to me. So I'm critiquing my own reaction. But the 2 remake's cool. It's really, really cool. I will get it. I will probably be a day one adopter on that. I know Devin probably plans to get a pirate ship and steal as many copies as he can and play it 5 days in advance. Mm-hmm. But I will at least go to Target and pick me up a copy. Sean, what about you? Is this a day one? Is remake a day one game?
Right now, not feeling like it is for me. Only because I'm not the hugest Silent Hill fan, other than the first one.
Well,
that one just the one that really hit me. So as of right now, until I see some more of it and about it and what it and stuff, right now probably not day one.
I mean, can you imagine Fog in 4K?
I know
that's where we're at. No, this
ray traced frog. Come on,
ray traced frog. I like that. Like, frog. Not only did you
frog,
like that's hilarious, and like I want to imagine a ray traced frog. I think this is definitely good. This is definitely the right direction. I still wish. Also, my other thing was I wish there was a little more meat on this presentation. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've heard that Blooper Team was doing Silent Hill for a while now. That rumor has been circulating, and so like, I was kind of surprised there wasn't more gameplay. There wasn't like a longer, because I'm like, this thing should be further along, especially as a remake. That you're, I think that was the kind of thing. Like the announcements were basically, "Oh, Silent Hill is coming. Wait for it." So I was kind of surprised that there was not more of a immediate announcement or more opinion. Like, Silent Hill 2 we'll probably see. I think it's a 2023. Maybe, it'd be awesome if it was within the first half of the year. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it's a October or November release. And then it's F. Silent Hill. I keep wanting to call it Silent Hill J because it's like I'm like Silent Hill Japan, but no, Silent Hill F. I think you might see that in early 2024. And then Townfall. I have no idea what to expect, like what level of game development that's in. And I'll be honest, I don't care about Silent Hill Ascension. I don't care. They can get me to care, but it's just like a massive multi thing with J.J. Abrams. I'm like, yeah. So and that's just my reaction. But all in all, it's once again, it's great to see Silent Hill back doing Silent Hill-y things. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome to be friends with Devin and see like the Christmas like joy child. Silent Hill! Even though I attempt to kick him and make him sad. Once again, I'm a terrible human being. But this is good. We're gonna do this really quickly because there was not much news to come out of this, but it just seemed fine. Capcom decided to go shots fired, and after the Silent Hill transmission was announced, they were like, the next day, Resident Evil Direct! And they really didn't have much of anything. They had Resident Evil 8 Gold Edition, which is a edition that has all the DLC. So
yeah, whatever.
I mean, cool. And if it's
okay.
Knowing how Capcom did 7 and has done all the Street Fighter ones, to prevent resell, they're just going to give you a standard game disc and a download code. They're not going to do anything like it's all on the disc because Capcom hates the resale market. Resident Evil, I think Mercenaries on the 3DS, where you couldn't actually like erase a save file, kind of showed you that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, did anyone have thoughts on Resident Evil 8 Gold Edition? Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna play the Rose missions and the third person thing that they're gonna add for sure.
But I mean, that's
8 is definitely my favorite out of all of them besides 4.
yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, 8's a great game, and don't get me wrong. I think the third person stuff is an update for everybody, if I remember correctly. That's what
I thought.
That'll be an update that everyone gets.
I don't think I was paying attention
yeah,
to it
I mean,
enough
it was
to realize that.
And fairly, once again, benign announcement. Cool. They're making a game.
Because I heard about that before this direct thing that was happening.
Oh, and I think
it was going to be available or something.
Well, it just seemed like they mostly just rode Resident Evil 4 hard.
Well, we'll get to that one. And also the next big thing for Resident Evil 8 will be the PlayStation VR 2. Because that will be updated and I heard nothing.
Wow, I would love to play that, but that's going to be terrifying seeing that giant baby monster. Oh, dude, that scared the crap out of me the first time I played that game.
I'm like, you mean Willow?
No, she is a monster, but no.
She's not that big. And on the positive side, she can't really walk, so. I mean, that Resident Evil 7 was the killer app for PlayStation VR. I'm curious to see how well. I'm very curious about PS2 VR, or PSVR 2, but that's a conversation for much different.
PlayStation 2 VR. That would...
Wow, everything looks super grainy. This fog is really pixelated. But then, of course, the big announcement, or not really announcement because they'd already announced it, and it's coming in March, but they showed a huge trailer, was Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Can I say that I'm just sick of the Resident Evil 4, bandwagon cheering? I'm just tired of everybody just putting that game up on a pedestal. It's just like, okay, I get it. It's a great game. We don't need it released 500 times on every single damn console. It's like, can I get Resident Evil 4 Part 2? That's what I would want. Take that formula of that game and just make another one, please. Yeah. I don't need to play the same one 5 times over again. It's I don't know. It's just old man on clouds again. I'm sorry.
I've got an old man on clouds rant on that one. Don't worry, it's coming. But I want to make sure we look to the optimistic future, guys. So, Devin, what was your feeling on the on the Resident Evil 4 remake trailer?
Since I was working while we were watching it, I wasn't able to pay attention too much. But from what I saw, it looks really good.
Yeah.
But I do agree that it's kind of what John said. It's been on every console since the freaking PS2. So.
Whoa!
It is a fantastic game.
Whoa! I'm sorry, sir.
What?
While it was on the PS2, we will say GameCube, sir, because that was supposed to be GameCube's killer app. It was supposed to be the thing. I
actually forgot about that.
That was supposed to win us a damn console war, and then right before it released, Capcom went, "Oh, we're also putting it on the PlayStation 2 in a couple of months. It's just a timed exclusive," and it's like. The sales deflated in the GameCube just held that place. But yeah, that's a GameCube game, sir.
Okay. Either way, but it does look really good, and I feel like they at least put a lot of work into actually changing the graphics and making them look a lot more realistic, which I do enjoy. And it seemed I think I was paying attention enough that they are adding a little bit of stuff to it, not just one for one. There is going to be a little bit of difference.
I think it's definitely a remake, and I mean, what we've been getting has been up-resed ports. So this is we got an HD version now. This is a legitimate new game remade. Hold on, let me stretch out because I'm about to get my old man rant on here. Of all the Resident Evil games, 4 needed a remake the least.
Yeah.
That is my honest feeling. Like 2 and 3 remade just honestly did so much favors for those games because getting it off fixed camera, getting rid of tank controls, making it a little more action adventure-y, made that story in those worlds so much more accessible. And what those games did was make them like Resident Evil 4.
Right.
And so I really am frustrated that they did not make Code Veronica, remake of Code Veronica. Because Code Veronica is kind of the last of the tank controls. To me, it's honestly what the real Resident Evil 3, because it actually progresses the story. The Resident Evil 3 we got, I always felt like was just kind of special DLC.
Yeah.
Or what I would call DLC now. Back then, just like an expansion. It was Jill in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, it was 2.5.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and there was some deal where like the numbered ones could only appear on PlayStation for that generation, and so Code Veronica was actually intended to be 3, but because the PlayStation was still active, they couldn't. I think I've heard that.
I actually never heard that before.
The internet told me.
So it must be true.
It must be true. But it fits because, I mean...
it does.
And I really would have rather seen that one. And that one also like has some glitches and some stuff that breaks it that they had to address with the subsequent releases of Code Veronica X. And I'm really mad because to me it's a part of the mainline series, and to jump to 4. Well, and then it's a part of the mainline series, and it's also the most overlooked one. And so a really good, solid remake of it in the style of 2 would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And so I was really disappointed we jumped to 4, which, to me is like, you are remaking it, you're adding things, you're changing some quality of life stuff. They are making a new game. I don't want to just be like, oh, they've just thrown stuff on there. It's not the HD version. That's what we got last time we got hyped about Resident Evil 4. But it's just like, that game doesn't need it. Like, it doesn't need a remake like the tank control ones do. And actually, to echo what Sean was saying about Silent Hill, I would have been okay if they did a remake of Resident Evil 1 in that style of 2 and 3, where you have it over the camera over the shoulder, you're exploring the mansion. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll get 4. Like, I'll get it, I'll be there, because that is, it's a phenomenal game. I remember waiting for it to come out for the GameCube. I was at a college that we were up in the mountains. I mean, we were in the mountains, and like the nearest Walmart was 40 minutes away. And so I remember driving to that Walmart after I got out of class, my freshman year of college, to make sure I picked that game up day one. And it was brilliant. But yeah, it doesn't need to be remade. It's good.
I just hope they still have those blue coin things hidden in the game.
Yeah.
I can't tell you like how many countless hours my brother and I tried to sit there and find those coins by ourselves without like using a guide or anything. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a great game. Great game. It's actually interesting to me. I felt like, well, and to me, if you were going to remake it, you should make it in the vein of 7 and 8, because I felt like 8 was very much a tribute to 4, and just like, it would be cool to see it in that first person style and going about it that way, which would
might add it as like a secondary thing. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that would radically change what the game was, which is what they did for 2 and 3. But hey, I'm still excited about it. They got my money. And let's see, how are we doing on time? Do we want to? Yeah, we got time. Let's just dive into everything tonight. So how's everyone feeling about the Bible? No, that's work for me, and I'm not going to talk about it. But I wanted to jump to the big piece of news. This kind of dovetails into our last podcast. The Super Mario Brothers trailer has arrived, and white guys in their parents' basements are freaking the fuck out. They are hurt in a way that I've just never seen, and I mean, it is clearly the point in their generation where they've lost all hope in humanity. But no, the Super Mario trailer popped out. The art style is a little different than what we're used to. We got to hear some of the voices. I was gonna say, what are your thoughts now on the Super Mario trailer? We don't need to talk about. We'll rag on the people who are having issues in a bit. But Sean, what was your feelings on the Super Mario Brothers movie trailer?
I liked it. I'm hyped for it, and I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna, you gotta understand it's a movie made for kids, so it's not made for us. It's made for kids, So, and my kids, they saw it and they're excited, and I'm excited for them to see it. And I thought I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it could have been so much worse than what it is. Yeah. So much worse.
I think Nintendo had a little bit of a damage control to make sure that a Mario Bros. Movie with John Leguizamo and the other guy, Bob Hoskins, didn't happen again. Even though I still like that movie. But...
Really quick. Y'all want to know a secret?
Oh.
Mario is primary for kids all the time.
Yeah.
Whoa. We're just men children, and we enjoy it because it makes us feel. It makes us feel.
Slowly takes off the bandana.
It makes us feel like we can still touch our childhood. That sounded wrong. Touch our childhood. What the hell is that?
It's okay. We get the point.
Yeah. But and it's fine to be a thing of a fan that's for kids. I think that's great. I think that's says the guy with the Power Ranger collection behind him.
Yeah.
But to be, first of all, no one. Let's be real. It's different. Like, you can tell the art's slightly different.
It's definitely got that illumination vibe on it. Like, you can clearly see it, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. So Devin,
it doesn't look like a bunch of Grooves running around, though, at least.
Yeah. So Devin, what was your take?
I absolutely love Bowser. I wasn't sure how Jack Black was going to pull that off, but he pulls that off so well.
Jack Black, I think that was the biggest surprise. I'm like, I am down for this. I am ready to see Bowser go. I'm ready for Bowser. I think that was.
Did you guys see the video of him doing the voice live at Comic-Con or whatever? He was on stage and he did a whole off the cuff thing with the voice, and it was amazing. It was really good. In person,
I love the fact that they brought in the little blue penguins.
Yeah,
all of us murdered.
If somebody doesn't pick one up and drop it off a cliff,
if they don't make that joke, I'm just that movie ruined. No.
If they don't reference the thing from my childhood,
if they don't mercilessly kill a penguin in this movie, I'm leaving.
And I actually really like it's Keegan Michael Key, right? The guy who's I forget his full name, whatever. But the guy who voices Toad. Yeah, I actually really like that. I thought that was going to be weird to pull off, but he does get that weird raspy sound that the Toads do get a little bit, not as much as I thought it was going to be, but either way, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
But the art style of when he's actually in the Mushroom Kingdom does look awesome to me.
Yeah.
And there seems to be a lot of things hidden within, especially the movie poster itself, and where you see the floating islands and stuff that kind of reminds me of Super Mario Galaxy a lot. So I think there's going to be a whole load of references in here. from all generations of Mario players that everyone's going to really be able to enjoy it. I still think that the theory that I saw on the internet was probably going to be true of who Charles Martinet is actually going to play, though.
And you said that, I mean, pretend that people listening to this podcast are not in a chat with you.
Okay.
So
people are going on the same. We all know Donkey Kong from the original game is actually Cranky Kong that we know now.
Yeah.
It's the same basic thing as the theory that I'm hearing is the fact that because Jumpman from that game isn't actually Mario, that they're going to kind of work that in as Jumpman being Mario's grandfather or father, and that's who Charles Martinet was going to would be potentially playing.
That would be interesting. I think that's a good play. And I do want to say, we're going to talk about the Mario's voice here in a second. I don't want to listen to Charles Martinet for 90 minutes. I'm just going to be honest.
Yes.
Or doing his Mario shtick. Like that voice for a whole thing, reading lines, I think would be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got Charles Martinet's autograph.
So do I.
I had a joy of an experience getting it because it was a poster of Mario Kart. He signed, I think, I forget all the characters because I think it's Luigi. Maybe he does Toad too. And as he's writing like phrases over the characters. He's saying them in the voice, like, I'm a Mario, I'm a number one. I'm like, so that, like, I love Charles Martinet, but I think he is it's very, like, good to use, to remember he's, like, the video game voice. All right. Mm-hmm. So let's get into the controversy. Let's get into the deep stuff. What do you guys feel about the Bible? No. The voice. Chris Pratt, now, I will say I do agree. Before they showed the trailer, of course, they had like Chris Pratt recording himself on a cell phone. Homeboy looked hungover and didn't seem like he even remembered that he made a Mario movie. But the actual voice, I am so weirded out by the fact that people have an opinion of it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Like, there's just not enough there.
Yeah, I know.
You know, like
it's not even that I had an opinion for or against it. It just sounds like Chris Pratt with a Brooklyn accent. That's all it sounds like.
Well, like there's like the complaint that like when he first says like where am I or like that, like he doesn't do
what is this place?
He doesn't really do any accent. And then there's Mushroom Kingdom, here we come, and it's like it sounds like Chris Pratt trying to imitate Charles Martinet. I think, but at the same time, I'm like, it's two sets of lines. Yeah. How do you have an opinion? And I will say,
people are already comparing it to Ugly Sonic. I'm like, Jesus Christ, calm down. Give it a minute. That was just blatantly garbage. The Chris Pratt thing. Let's give this a second to simmer.
It was like not even a whole sentence, and then one sentence. And if you listen to it, it almost seems like the last thing where he says Mushroom Kingdom, here we come, or whatever. It sounds like they just put that in for the trailer because of the level of this. If you listen to it, it sounds like they just put that in, just like it's not going to say that in that scene of the movie.
Yeah,
like when we get to that scene of the movie, if that's even a scene in the movie, we don't even know that. They just who knows what this stuff is we saw, you know? Wow. They're just giving us a tease. So it sounds like they just put that in there as a little extra thing. Because it doesn't sound in place to me.
Yeah, it didn't.
You know what I mean?
I agree there.
So I think they just kind of threw that in. It was almost like a last second thing. So let's not take it as in the word of John. Let's not take that as gospel. Okay.
I have to know who out of the entire voice cast that we already have seen are you excited for? 8-bit, tell me. Like
say that again.
The voice that who are you most excited to hear in that character? Like which character are you most excited to hear the voice for?
That we haven't heard already yet, or that we have? We haven't heard it already. Donkey Kong.
I agree.
I'm very
Sebastian
curious.
Maniscalco.
Yeah, I'm very curious of what that's going to sound like. Donkey Kong, with Seth Rogen. Because all I hear is that crazy Seth Rogen laugh. I can't even do it, but you know what I mean. Like,
I could totally
a
hear
very
Seth
high
Rogen's voice
Donkey
coming out of
Kong.
Donkey
You know what I
Kong.
mean?
Yeah.
Think Pineapple Express Donkey Kong. You know what I mean?
I will say
Totally.
I'm excited for that one, but I'm excited because I feel like that's a tease that a Donkey Kong. If this works, if this makes money, I feel like we have a Nintendo shared universe.
A Donkey Kong Country.
At a Donkey
spin-off
Kong Country
of this.
movie.
I have a feeling that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to plan something like that.
So
I don't think they would have put in Foreman Spike. I don't think they would have been Cranky Kong, Donkey Kong. I don't think they would have put in Kamek and all kinds of weird characters. That really
why go
don't
to that
need be
effort?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, it's the main one is just Cranky Kong. Like, Cranky Kong is not in a Mario game. He's not in a Mario Kart. I mean, you know, and I think that's a fairly fascinating thing, and I would, you know, I'm like that's interesting, and also, I mean, I think Seth Rogen is kind of his stars. Well, I would say his star was a little bit bigger than some of the other people that were announced, but I feel like Seth Rogen could carry an animated movie at this point on his own, and that seems to, it's almost Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, and Iron Man 1 feeling like, there might be a commitment to some more larger stuff here.
But they are definitely diving really deep, especially with like Foreman Spike. He's only seen in Wrecking Crew, and I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, well, and I mean that's really cool. I would, you know, it was interesting to me, and I can't believe I'm the one to talk about this. The Luigi stuff I'm interested to hear Charlie Day because I feel like all of you guys in the trailer.
I'm very interested to see what he's going to do.
But I'm curious, like that'd be really cool to set up a Luigi's Mansion movie.
You realize, oh my god, if they do that, that
would be great. See, that's a perfect like this time of the year to put out.
Yeah.
So like next year or the year after, whatever. But in October,
if we see King Boo in that movie at all,
well, I mean,
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
There was kind of a weird. There was a purple tint, and he was like in a I don't know. There's something I was like, this feels like a different tone than what we're seeing.
Definitely did.
And
he was getting chased into a castle though. But I mean, I definitely seemed like something.
Yeah, but there's still, like I said, there was a purple tint. But I think our general consensus here is, and I do want to say, I feel like the general consensus from the actual real people I've engaged with is excitement. I mean, the internet has a tendency to, or perception generator around internet things is whoever's loudest has the most people, which is a fallacy that we see over and over again. And so I've seen people say this, but I've seen the majority of people going like, "This is awesome. This looks great." So look forward to it. I think I would generally take a poll around here like, who's excited for the Mario movie? But I know both of you are.
And it comes out a day before my birthday next year, so I know what I'm doing that day.
Nice.
And I know that I'm going to try to find a way to see it beforehand and then just send you spoilers.
I'm going to turn off my phone for a couple days.
Here's my present to you. Luigi dies!
No, Luigi finally gets a girlfriend for once. He's never alone.
He got Daisy. Luigi ended up with the love interest in the first movie. The great movie. Okay.
Well, true, but again, I haven't watched that in so long. I don't remember.
I don't know why you hate happiness and doing nice things for yourself.
I was the one that said that I actually like that movie. For God's sake, don't even start with me.
Devin likes something from Nintendo.
Ooh,
I'm shocked.
How about that?
Next thing you know, you're going to tell me Sean likes retro video games, especially the Nintendo.
Star Wars.
These are things we know.
Yeah.
But I guess that's where that kind of wraps it up. I mean, it's a kids movie, but I feel like it does appeal, and if you have the time to sit and whine about a movie and the lack of, or someone's voice not being, go get a job. Go feed the fucking homeless. Like,
Yeah.
there are so many world problems that deserve that attention. So that's my little rant. All right, so before we get out of here, let's do that usual wrap up. Ratboy Collectibles, where can people find you? What's going on?
I am primarily still just on TikTok, Ratboy Collectibles, and also on YouTube, but haven't really been doing too much, but that's it at the moment.
And 8-Bit Glitch, what's going on with you? What's the latest thing you got on your channel?
The latest thing I just did was what did I do? Oh, retro treasure box, retro game treasure box unboxing, and I'm trying to get around to doing a big pickups video because I got a lot of stuff that needs to be put away. That's kind of piled up here, and because I've been putting it away because I'm like, well, I'm gonna do a pickups of like pretty much of all the conventions I've been to this year.
Yeah,
one massive pickup video. So maybe look out for that soon. Who knows?
Dope.
But yeah, that's been it. I'm hoping to be able to do my Christmas special again.
Nice.
This year.
12 Days of Nostalgia.
12 Days of Nostalgia. I'm gonna put myself in a big stressful mess to try to pull that together again.
I thought you were about to say something like, I'm about to put myself in a big Christmas box and give myself as the gift to the world. Actually, now that has to be like where the video says like, I've just added to your stress.
He's just gonna have a parody of the Dick in a Box thing from SNL.
It's a glitch in a box.
Yeah.
A glitch in a box, baby.
A BGM box. There we go. Yep.
So glad I had that. But 8-Bit Glitch, you got a YouTube channel. There's various
YouTube, and you can catch me on all the other socials, the Facebookies, the Twitties, the Instagrammies. Same name.
Yeah. And of course, if you're here, thank you for being here. This is the Bandana Gamer channel. It's got a new logo. I think my new intro will have preceded this, and yes. It was
just throw my work away. I know.
Sean
I just slaved over an intro for somebody, and then they just gonna toss it to the side like sloppy seconds here.
Well, first of all, let's just be real about who I am. My first logo was made by my wife, and as soon as I could, I was like, I'm ditching this crap. Just kidding. No, I just you have to like just every so often change some stuff.
Yeah,
up and
I've been thinking that myself.
And I love my first intro. It holds a special place in my heart. The problem is there's stuff that like I'm not doing a Wii U game of the month anymore, and so I was like, ugh. And this is just a shorter thing, but I love it, and it means the world to me, and it will come back for retro special, Sean, because you're a special guy, and you're my little boopsie. And you're one of my favorite people to go to conventions with. And so, but if you like what you hear, make sure to hit that like button and give us a subscribe and share us around. Let people know about how awesome this podcast is. Because it's good to be back. I've had a long time off not making content, and so I'm hoping you'll be seeing some more. Definitely got some unboxings coming in the future, and hoping to get some reviewing done, and back to getting some streaming, and some just doing let's just play around. Definitely, I think Persona 5 will be in my near future for some streaming. So, hope you guys have a great night. Hope you stay out of trouble, and we'll catch y'all in the next one, my friends. Peace.